Alright guys, in this video we're going to be answering questions 3A, 3B, 4, and 5. Now, 3A and 3B will be kind of a foundation to approaching questions 4 and 5. And it wants us to answer the following. What number is 55% of 95? Let's go back to chapter 6, section 1, when we translated verbal statements into mathematical equations and expressions. We're going to do that here because when it says what number, that number right now is unknown. And the way we define an unknown is using a variable. So what number will represent the variable of x? The word is right here means equals. And I want to find 55% of 95. The word of means multiplication. So I'm going to multiply 55% written as a decimal, which will be 0.55 with the number 95. Now let's multiply that. 0.55 times 95 equals to 52.25. So 52.25 is 55% of 95. Let's answer B. 95% of what number is 57? Now remember, the word of means multiplication, and what number represents a variable. So 95% of a number, which I'm going to call x, will equal to 57. 95% as a decimal is 0.95. So 0.95x of is multiplication. What number is going to be x equals 57. And I want to solve for x. To get x by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 0.95. That's gone. X is equal to 57 divided by 0.95, and that's going to be 60. So I hope you guys understand the difference between 3A and 3B. The wording makes all the difference, and how do you approach it. We're now going to use what we learned in 3A and in 3B to approach questions 4 and 5. Let's examine number 4. It says here, according to Falstaff Traveling Nursing, about 9.1% of all registered nurses in the United States are men. The average hospital in 2016 had 347 registered nurses. How many were likely to be male? To find out how many were likely to be male, we need to find 9.1% of 347. Remember, 9.1% of registered nurses in the U.S. are men. And on average, a hospital consists of 347 registered nurses. So to find out the number of male registered nurses will equal to 9.1% of 347 registered nurses. 9.1% as a decimal. You can move my decimal 2 times to the left and drop the percent sign. Will be 0.091. The word of means multiplication, and we're going to multiply that by 347. And let's round to the nearest whole number. That equals to 31.577. If we round that to the closest whole number, that's going to be approximately 32 male registered nurses. So I hope you guys follow that, and I hope that makes sense to you guys. Now, we're going to move on to number 5. And number 5 says, at an international company, it has 29,700 employees in one country. If this represents 19.1% of the company's employees, how many employees does it have in total? Want to round out answer to the nearest whole number. It is stating right here that 29,700 employees in one country represents 19.1% of the totals of the company's employees. So 29,700 is equal to 19.1% of the total number of employees. And we want to find how many employees does the company have in total. So that's going to equal to 29,700, which is then equal to 19.1% as a decimal. Drop the percent sign and move the decimal 2 places over to the left. So 0.191. The word of means multiplication. And because I want to find the total number of employees, that is going to be my variable, which is x. To then get x by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 0.191. These simplify out. X is going to equal to 29,700 divided by 0.191. And when I look at the closest whole number, there's going to be 155,497 employees in total. All right, guys, that is it for questions 3, 4, and 5. That is how we find the percentage of a number and using a number to find a percentage of another. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.